All right, if you've been following Barcelona Shakedown, you already know this isn't about lap times. This is about who turned up, who ran, and who actually got useful work done. So let me walk you through day 1 and day 2. But before we get into this, a quick one. If you love F1 like me, then make sure you're following All Motorsports Podcast wherever you listen. And you can follow me on YouTube at All Motorsports Podcast for weekly updates during the season. All right, let's slow this down and talk properly, team by team. First, quick context. This Barcelona Shakedown is private. No live timing, no public broadcast. Teams are allowed meaningful mileage. This is not a filming day. The goal here is simple. Does the car work and does the data match the simulator? That's it. Day 1 was the busiest day so far. 7 teams ran cars on tracks. Mercedes were there, Red Bull were there, Haas ran, Alpine ran, Racing Bulls ran, Audi ran, and Cadillac ran. McLaren did not run on day 1, Ferrari did not run on day 1, and neither did Aston Martin run on day 1. And Williams, well, they did not attend the Barcelona Shakedown at all. And that is confirmed. They're not coming. So let's start with Red Bull, who ran on day 1. They ran again yesterday. No drama, no noise, just structured running. They treated this like a checklist. Systems on, correlation work, baseline data. That's classic Red Bull behavior. From the outside, this looked calm and controlled. That's exactly what you want to see here. Mercedes ran strongly on day 1. They logged proper mileage, 2 drivers, no visible interruptions. On day 2, they chose not to run. That decision was weather related, not reliability related. So don't read too much into that. Day 1 told us Mercedes had a working car. Day 2 told us they weren't desperate for track time. That's neutral to positive. Just a quick pause. If this is a kind of breakdown that you find useful, not lap time noise, not social media hype, make sure you follow and subscribe to All Motorsports Podcast. We'll be doing this after every testing day and every week throughout the season. All right, back to it. Haas quietly had a productive day on day 1. They ran clean. They got laps in. They did exactly what a midfield team should do here. No reports of major issues, no overreaching, just data gathering. That matters more than pace right now. Alpine, they ran on day 1, but their program wasn't smooth. They had interruptions, shortened runs, garage time. Nothing catastrophic, but not flow state either. That usually means the engineers are still resolving basics, not refining performance. It's not a panic moment, but not ideal. The Racing Bulls were also on track day 1. They completed installation running. They had at least 1 track stop. Again, normal at this stage, but it tells us their day was about system checks, not learning the car deeply yet. Now, Audi, who've taken over from Sauber, were on the quieter, they were one of the quieter success stories, I suppose, on day 1. They ran, they stayed out of trouble, they logged their laps. No headlines, which is exactly what you want during shakedown. This looked very organised from this team. Now, our new team, yes, Cadillac, they did run. They completed early shakedown running on day 1. This was not about performance. This was about proving the car functions as a Formula 1 machine. And they achieved that. That's a big first step. Day 2 was a very different day. Day 2 was heavily affected by weather. Rain limited running, and that changed teams' decisions. Only 2 teams are confirmed to have run meaningful laps, Ferrari and Red Bull. Ferrari made their first appearance on day 2. They ran both drivers and they ran across mixed conditions, dry, intermediate and wet. That's important. Ferrari chose to use a difficult day to stress systems and reliability. That's a sensible call. No reported issues, no interruptions worth noting, just work. Red Bull was also out there on day 2. They continued structured running. There was an incident late in the day in wet conditions that ended their session early. That happens in testing. What matters is that it wasn't systemic and it doesn't appear to have changed their program. So, who did not run on day 2? Well, McLaren, Aston Martin, Haas, Alpine, Racing Bulls, Audi, and Cadillac. Well, obviously Williams, because they're not participating in this shakedown at all. Who should walk away with good confidence at the moment? Based on what we know, what's been released, Red Bull look prepared. Ferrari look methodical. Mercedes looks stable after day one. Audi and Haas look organised. Alpine still have some work to do. The Racing Bulls are early stage, and I think Cadillac have achieved their first major milestone. McLaren and Aston Martin haven't shown us anything yet by choice. Williams are already behind the curve, so I'm not sure what they're going to do if Bahrain doesn't go well. What can we expect on day 3? Well, day 3 is where this shifts. More teams are expected to run longer runs and will start to appear more and more, and excuses begin to disappear. This is where readiness becomes visible, not speed, readiness. All right, that's the clean read on Barcelona so far. If you want the day 3 breakdown, make sure you're following All Motorsports Podcast and subscribe on your podcast platform or YouTube. Share this with the F1 fan in your life or who actually understands testing. I'm Nathan. This is All Motorsports Podcast, and I'll talk to you after day 3.